What's going on, guys? Today we're going to talk about the OnePlus 8, and this phone actually cost me a lot of money, so let me explain my experience for using it over a month now. But before we dive into the review, let's take a word from today's sponsor, Nordpass. Now, if you're like me and you always forget your passwords, or you're tired of clicking the reset my password button, then you should check out today's sponsor, Nordpass. Nordpass gets rid of all the fuss around password. It autofills forms, remembers an unlimited number of passwords, and even generates complex ones for you. So don't be that person that uses the same password for everything, because it's not safe. Nordpass also recognizes suspicious websites so you don't accidentally reveal your sensitive information, and you can stay safe online. Now today you can get 50% off Nordpass at www.nordpass.com/Siobhan, or you could use my code Siobhan at checkout. Alright, so this is the first time I ever used a OnePlus device, and the reason I got it was because I wanted to play games on it. It's something different and I like it. So the price of this thing is 1,241 Canadian dollars. I think something's just missing. Silly enough, as I said before, I bought this device mainly to play games on it, and because it's the only device that could play Fortnite at 90 FPS. So it's hard to not pick this thing up knowing that I play Fortnite so much. So I ended up using the phone more and more as my daily driver, and I can confidently say this thing has a beautiful screen. Just look at it, deep blacks, amazing performance, great battery life. I use this thing so much. The only thing with the performance I found is that it overheats, but this is only when I'm playing for probably an hour or more straight, just high intensive gameplay, running at 90 FPS, it's gonna get hot. And in return, it would get lower performance, and also the screen would lower its brightness, which is kind of annoying. Now, the first thing we're going to talk about here is the design. And don't get me wrong, this phone is designed well. I know it overheats and stuff, but the design is nice. The back of the phone has a glass design that either uses the matte texture, which I have right here. So this is the glacial green colorway. But if you want a lot of fingerprints on your device, you could get the glossy finish on the Interstellar Glow version of this. Personally, I think the matte finish is more practical because you don't get a lot of fingerprints on the device, but the Interstellar Glow is certainly something special. Now, going around the sides of the phone, you'll find your typical power button, your volume rocker, your USB-C port, speaker, and microphones. Now, you won't find a headphone jack on this thing anywhere, but OnePlus does keep its signature slider alert, which is actually so clutch, and I think it's just genius, and every phone manufacturer needs to steal or take some notes here. Now, where OnePlus need to take some notes for themselves, especially at this price of $1,241, is adding a proper IP rating. Now, adding wireless charging, and since we don't have a proper IP rating, just add a headphone jack to the thing, man. We're not gonna dip this anywhere. Just put some headphone jacks in, or something to make up for not having that wireless charging. Just imagine paying $1,000 for a phone in 2020 and you can't just place it on your expensive wireless charger, or go to the beach or a pool to the summer. We can't take any pics near the pool because we don't have the IP rating. Now, as I mentioned before, the screen is good, and probably one of my favorite thing about this phone, and it's a 1080p panel. It measures at 6.55 inches, and of course it's AMOLED, so we have the good blacks, deep blacks. It fits good in the hand while still offering a ton of real estate for watching videos, playing my favorite video games, and also consuming media. Now, other kinds of things I love is the colors on this thing. It's vivid, it's not overly saturated, the brightness is fine, it's pretty good, not the best outside, but remember, you can dive into the settings and always adjust the color to your options or your likings or stuff like that. Now, I don't know if it's just me, but I hate the curves on the edges of smartphones. They just need to kill this thing. This phone has a slight curve, not as bad as I've seen with maybe the LG Velvet that I have right here. The LG Velvet curves is just crazy, but I just think curves on phones are pointless, they add extra crazy amount of glare, which is not ideal when you're watching videos, and it just also adds a lot of like discoloration over the screen, especially when you have lighter things showing. Now in terms of battery life, this bad boy is juiced up with a 4300 milliamp hour battery. It's pretty good. I'm not gonna lie, I haven't been using the phone normally like any regular person because I just have been testing it, just playing games. That's all I've been doing. I've been playing tons of games on this thing, so most days I'll finish with roughly 20 to 30% battery life and around 7 hours of screen on time. So some days when I'm not playing games intensively with this thing, I could go a day without charging. Now we all know how serious OnePlus is when it comes on to charging with this phone, so the warp charger thing that they have is really good. It's included in the box. It's insanely fast. You could fill up half of the phone's battery within just 20 minutes of charge, which is just crazy to me and mind-boggling. Now flipping the phone around, we have 3 cameras at the back. Yes, 3. The cameras are okay. We have the main 48 megapixel camera on this phone. It's pretty good in my opinion. It doesn't match the bigger sensor from like the OnePlus 8 Pro. I think it's the same camera as the 7T, but the shots, it looks good. It's sharp, good processing. It doesn't look too oversaturated or dull. The 16 megapixel ultra wide camera, it's fine in good lighting, but taking it indoors is where it's a hit or miss because the shots just start to get grainy. It's not awful, but it's not great either. Now OnePlus also ditched the telephoto lens on this thing, and they added an 8 megapixel macro lens. I think macro lens and macro photos are cool, but for me it was a mistake. As a result, the zoom in shots are left with digital zoom and not so great results. Now really anyone buying this phone just shouldn't be like, you shouldn't have high expectations for the camera's performance, and I think personally that's what the 8 Plus Pro is for. But the 8 is pretty much, it's like, you know, it's what you expect from a mid-range flagship smartphone. But yeah, I think that's pretty much it for the OnePlus 8. My favorite phone for gaming in my opinion. Pretty much you get stock Android with Oxygen OS, pretty decent dual speakers, one at the earpiece and also one at the bottom, so just one down here. We also have a really fast optical fingerprint sensor, crazy good screen and performance, and I love the performance. I just keep saying, we also have a nice triple camera setup, my favorite design, along with the Huawei P40 Pro with the matte finish. It just looks so clean in my opinion, and also a price which is too goddamn high. So let me know what you think about the OnePlus 8 Pro. Is it worth that $1,200 odd in Canada? I don't know why the price is so high. We don't have
It was at this moment that he knew. He f***ed up.
We don't have wireless charging, we don't have water resistance, and it's basically like a budget flagship phone, I'd call it. And the LG Velvet, which costs roughly $600 or $650 here in Canada, wireless charging, IP rating, probably a camera that could match up to it, fingerprint scanner, all of that. I just think this price is kind of high for what you're getting. Tell me what you think is missing from the OnePlus 8. If you enjoyed this video and you're new here, drop a like down below and subscribe. We're trying to hit 60,000 subscribers. Thank you guys for watching. As always, love, peace, and tweaks. Signing out.